Hello, I am Jenny Glick, licensed marriage and family therapist, certified sex therapist. But for you in this space, I'm like a neighbor who knows a lot about relationships and marriage. Just got in from a very cold, wintry walk and felt inspired to have a conversation with you about anxiety because I work with so many women who say things to me like, I've just always been anxious, or I have generalized anxiety disorder, or I've been anxious since I was a little girl. And I believe that anxiety is not what you think it is. So let's have that conversation. Okay. First, take a breath, arrive in the space. If you're listening to me while you're making dinner or driving a car, whatever you're doing, take a moment to take a breath and connect with yourself. So, one of the things about anxiety that I believe is true is that anxiety is not actually a feeling. The feeling under anxiety is fear, right? One of the many feelings. And so, it's really difficult to live a life where you're trying to manage your anxiety, you're trying to regulate your nervous system, because then your body becomes the project or the thing that you're kind of warring against. Like there's something wrong with me and I have to fix me, right? Because my nervous system is dysregulated. And that can feel really difficult. You're going and getting acupuncture, which is amazing. Go get acupuncture. You're taking herbs, which is amazing. Go take herbs. But underneath it, what could be happening and what is often much easier to come into relationship with is recognizing that there is a feeling of unsafety in you. So there's a sense of unsafety. And when women start to recognize the the unsafety that you are perpetrating against yourself, it can become a lot simpler to manage your anxiety. Because what I have found in my 20 plus years of working with women and men and children and all the humans is that your thinking, feeling, doing, believing are the four aspects of yourself that are creating this character that you are, that you're walking around in this world as this human, right? That you are. That thinking, feeling, doing, believing has something woven into it that tells you you're not safe. And that I'm not safeness is what will lead to your anxious problems, right? And so when I work with women, I see a lot that they feel anxiety around money in their relationship, connection, that they and their partner are not connected emotionally, spiritually, sexually, that their intimate life is not what they want, right? And so it's easy, if that's your situation, to look at how your partner's broken, your marriage is broken, right? Or maybe you're broken. And how I like to see it instead is, and I know this is a very elementary way to see it, but it makes it very easy for our minds to grasp it, that when we're in a state of anxiety, aka unsafety, we're living in what I think of as a 1.0 state. So it's this energetic frequency that is fueled by fear and survival, right? And many practitioners of consciousness talk about this. Dr. David Hawkins has written many, many books about this. So it's not just me coming up with this idea. It's the way that I frame it for a person and her relationship in particular. And so if you find yourself in what's known as an anxious state, you're probably fueling your life from a place of fear and survival. That means that you have thoughts, we don't have enough, we need more, whether it's money, time, connection, intimacy, he's not enough or she's not enough, I'm doing something wrong, I can't ever do anything right? Those kinds of thoughts and beliefs, I'm not safe, it's not okay to be fully who I am, I'd like to do what I want to do in life, but I can't because XYZ. And I understand that we all have particular limitations, right? We have particular edges in our life that don't allow for us to quit our jobs and all move to an island in, Bora Bora or something, right? So I understand that we have limitations in our life. And yet, as soon as we meet that, and I don't even want to talk about it like a limitation exactly, as soon as we meet that belief, right? Well, I can't leave my job because of health insurance, which I know that. I have a child with type 1 diabetes. So my husband and I did that song and dance for a very long time. When our kiddo was still living with us, he's launched. We didn't kick him out. He's in his 20s now. So anyway, I understand that there are these real life circumstances, right, that give you something to press up against, right, around money. You might feel unsafe around money. I just talked to a client the other day who they were looking at potentially filing bankruptcy because of an investment situation that went awry. And so her anxiety was through the roof, when the truth is she felt very afraid. That makes sense, right? To feel the sensations of fear, and this is what I do with the clients who I serve, to feel the sensations of fear in your body, and then to allow them to move through the sensations in your body is what these beautiful, perfect, divine bodies are made to do. What we tend to do is we have this experience of fear, like the colleague or the client of mine who was potentially filing for bankruptcy, the fear coming up, but then the thoughts started, right? So this is part of your thinking, feeling, doing, believing. The thoughts started, the thoughts of like, oh my gosh, what about our kids? We're going to have to take them out of these schools. We're going to have to sell the house. We're going to have to do all of that. And again, those things might be true. She might need to do those things. But if I'm fueling that with fear, right? With feeling like there's a boot on the back of my neck, that there's a dagger in my back poking me forward, then the energetic signature of that experience, the character that I'm going to be, is I'm going to have an anxiety disorder, right? Because I'm looping in these patterns, these thoughts and these feelings and these beliefs and these actions. And so then my body feels rushed and I'm tense and I'm pushing away my partner or time to be with friends, right? I'm not tending to myself. I'm not nourishing myself the way that I might. So all of those things are happening. And as long as those things are happening, you're not safe. And as long as you're not safe, anxiety is going to be running the show. And as long as anxiety is running the show, the decisions that come from anxiety, that come from fear, are going to have the frequency of fear. They're going to feel like fear. They're going to feel like survival. They're going to feel like either I do this or something terrible is going to happen. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Like that's what you're conditioning in your body. And so, can you tell I'm very excited about this? And so, what's the solution to this? The solution to this is you growing an extraordinarily safe thinking, feeling, doing, believing way of showing up in the world, perception, intention, awareness of yourself so that you can create a life from a place that feels calm, easeful, joyful, prosperous. Because fear is not prosperous. That's not a prosperous state. I was losing my words. Ease, relaxation, and joy, that's a prosperous state, right? And so if you find yourself struggling with anxiety, I invite you to turn that gaze inward and start to notice where it is that you are perpetrating against yourself conditions of unsafety by not giving yourself even the most simple requirement, nourishment. Like if you're cold, put on a sweater, right? Get uncold, like take care of yourself. If you need to use the restroom, use the restroom. If you need to get a drink of water, if you've been in, then go take care of that. If you have things happening in your body, if you're feeling fatigued from being on a screen, turn it off, right? Listen to the audio if that's what feels better for your body. Listen to your body's cues. And that's such a simple way to start creating safety in your body, which will help to manage, I'm saying this in quotes, your anxiety, because anxiety is fear. And we live in a culture where there's so much fear all over our feed, right? If you've never put that together before, that we have social media feeds, they're feeding us. It's a trough of fear. And as long as we're bellying up to the bar of fear, we're going to feel anxious. and then we're not going to feel like we have any authority in our lives. So I hope that this message has met you in such a good way. If you like what I'm talking about, comment below, like, subscribe, share. I'm so glad that you're here, and check out some of my other videos if you're interested. See you next time. Bye.